Hello, this is Sal. In today's video, we will be talking about standard access list. In this topology diagram, we have four LANs here: North, LAN, South, East, and West. And they are connected with router 1 and router 2. On router 2, we have three networks: the network on the East and the West, and the network between router 2 and router 1, and the same here on router 1 with the LAN on, or the network of the North one, the South, and the network between the two routers. I already configured or I'll show you, but let me tell you a little bit about standard access list. It's a set of rules defined for controlling the network traffic and reducing network attacks. Access control lists are used to filter traffic based on the set of rules defined for the incoming or outgoing of the network. These are the access lists which are made using the source IP address only. Standard access list filters the traffic based on the source IP address. Therefore, a standard access list control list must be placed on the router which is near the destination network or the host where is denied. So in today's lab, I'll configure two standard access control lists to restrict traffic to the West LAN, this LAN here, and the East LAN, on the West and the East. Then I'll configure a named standard access control list to restrict remote access to router 1 here using SSH. We have the default route is configured on router 1 and router 2. I'll show you here with this show command: enable Cisco show run include pipe include route. We have the default route configured, and also show run include user, and we have the username is admin1 and the password of admin1 on both router 1 and router 2. And the enable password is Cisco. You will find everything step by step on the description of this video. Walk through document, just so you can do this lab on your own, and you can download also a packet tracer also and the documents will show you how to do it step by step. Now, on router 2, I will permit PCC here on the South LAN to reach the West LAN, this guy here. So we'll enable of Cisco, configure terminal, access list, and the first one access list is access list 10. We want to permit the host PCC on the South, the IP address of 192.168.2.10. Now, I will permit in the second access list, I will permit the first half of hosts on the north, this north LAN, so they can reach the West LAN here. Only half on the north LAN. So the network is 192.168.1.0, and with a /24 subnet mask 255.255.255.0. This network can have up to 254 hosts. So the half is 127. So the first half will be from 1 to 127, and the second half it will be to 254. And what we need to do here is to configure just half. So configuring the access list, 10, we want to permit the network on the north of 192 192.168.1.0 and the inverse subnet mask of 0.0.0.127 because this is half of the 254. And now the third access list I will configure is to permit all of the hosts on the east LAN, here to reach the west LAN. So again, on router 2, access list 10, permit 172.16.1.0 with the /24 inverse subnet mask. So now we are done configuring the 3 access list. The first one is to permit PCC, and the second one only half of the network on the north network, and the third access list is to permit the east to get to the west LAN. Now we want to apply the access list to the interface on router 2. Here on router 2, we are, this is the source, also here the source, and the south LAN is also the source, and our destination is here on router on the west LAN. So our interface will be configured on this interface of Gigabit Ethernet 01. So the north LAN or network, the south, the east, they are sources, and this is the destination. The destination, we will place the access list on this interface of Gig 01. So on router 2, interface Gig 01. Now, to apply it, IP access group of the access lists, the group of access list we configured, and it's number 10, and from the sources to come out of the router to reach this network or this LAN. So it will be, we have 2 options, in and out. No, but it is going out of the router to the LAN or network here. So now let's ping from PCA to see if how we configured our access lists here. So the first half here, PCA is within the first half. So let's see if we can ping the west LAN on 172.16.2.10. And we can, because as I said, when we configure the access list, just for the first half of the PCs on the north network or the north LAN, let's see if we can ping from PCB. PCB is with the IP address 192.168.1, then 150, if it can, and this is in the second half. Let's see if we can ping 172.16.2.10 or 20, doesn't matter. And it's telling us the destination is unreachable. We received a reply, but it is unreachable because it's not allowed, not permitted by the access list we configured. Now we have PCC here is allowed. Let's ping 172.16.2.20, for example. It's allowed, and all the hosts and the east LAN is allowed, permitted by the access list we configured to reach the west. So ping 172.16.2.10, and the same also from with the PCF, but I will ping the 172.16.2.20, and we receive a reply from the destination. Now, I will configure a standard IP version 4 access control list 20 to restrict access to the East LAN, to restrict access to this LAN here. So East LAN is the destination, and the rest of the network will be the source. So on router 2, the first thing we want to do is to permit PCA, this guy here on the north LAN, to reach the east network or east LAN. So PCA here to reach this. So the access list will be access list 20. We want to permit the host of the host A with the IP address of 192.168.1.10. So now the second access list, we want to deny the North VLAN. Now this is the North VLAN. We are allowing only one host. And the second access control list, we want to deny the rest of the hosts in this network or this LAN. So again, on router 2, access control list, and this is 20, we want to deny everybody else in the network of 192.168.1.0 and the inverse subnet mask of 0.0.0.255. Now the third access control list is to allow other networks like the south here, South LAN or network, and the west, the south and the west, we want to allow them access to the East LAN. So on router 2 again, access list 20, we want to permit any, and not to forget the implicit deny. So now we have the network or the LAN, north LAN, the south, and the west. These are the sources, and the destination is the East LAN here. And so we will place the access list on this interface of gig 00. So again, on router 2, interface gigabit Ethernet 00, IP access group 20, and again, just out of the router to the LAN, we have two options, in and out, and so it will be outbound. Now, after we did the configuration and applying the access list 20, let's run some tests on PCA. It's allowed. So let's see if we can ping other host 172.16.1.10. Yes, we can. Let's see if we can ping the other host of 20. Also, we can. But the rest of the network, the north network, is not allowed. So let's see from PCB 172.16.1.10, and saying that the destination host is unreachable. Let's try the other host of 20, and again it is unreachable. So only PCA with access control list 20 is allowed in East LAN, and the rest of the network are not allowed. But also the other networks or other LAN, South LAN, or East LAN, they are allowed. So let's try PCG here, ping 172.16.1.10. It's allowed and it have access. Let's try the other host, ping the other host, and sure enough it is. And let's try PCD here, ping 172.16.1.10, and we were able to. So now I will insert an access control entry, ACE, into list 20. I will make a change to access list 20, insert an access control entry into access list 20 to permit PCA here to reach the East LAN. I will insert the ACE prior to the other access list 20 permit and deny access control entries. Here is how I will insert or remove an ACE into a specific line or in access control list. Here to insert or remove an access control entry on a specific line, enter the access control list using the IP address list keyword and argument as if the numbered access control list was a named access control list. So here on router 2, exit from here, we will use the show command, show IP access list. Exit, show IP access list, and showing us here for access list 10, as we configured it earlier on router 2, and the access control at 20. Here we will choose this line, the line which permit host A here on the north LAN. It's permitting the host here to reach the network. Okay, so now this command will list the access list with lines numbered. So now I will type this command, configure terminal, IP access list standard 20. Now, as you can see here, named access control list is here, and ACL, and STD stand for standard. So now we are in the configuration of named access control list, standard named access control list. Now we will specify which line we want to change or remove. Now, as we said, we want to remove the line 10 here. So simply only what we need to type is no 10, or maybe you can remove line 20 or 30 because they are listed like this. So when we type no 10, enter. Now let's run this command, exit again, show IP access list. And as you can see here that it removed the line 10, or we have only 20 and 30. So we want to bring it back here simply by typing configure terminal, IP access standard 20, and now we can type the command simply by saying 10, or you can choose numbers from 1 up to 9. But here I want to choose number 10, or let me say I want to change it to 5. Permit host, the host PCA of 192.168.1.10. Exit, and another exit. show IP access list, and now it is giving it number 5. You know, just simple like that. So nothing to it. Now we will configure a named standard access list, IPv4 access list, to restrict remote access to router 1. Router 1 here by using SSH. You can choose any name, but in this example, I'll choose the name named VTY, and I will permit only one host, which is PCC. I will permit only just one host to have remotely connect to router 1 using SSH. And then I will apply it I'll apply this access list to the VTY line. So on router 1, how to do it, enable Cisco, configure terminal, IP access list, standard, and here to choose a name, because it is named. I want it simply, for simplicity, name it just named VTY. You can choose whatever name you want, and it is, by the way, it's case sensitive, the names here. Now permit, we want to permit, as we said, only PCC. The IP address of 192.168.2.10. So I'll exit from here and now go to the line VTY from 0 to 4. Now we are in the line configuration. Now access list, access class, sorry, access class, and now we put enter the name VTY, and inbound or outbound incoming connections or outgoing connections. In this case, we are doing this configuration on router 1, so it is in. Any connection coming into router 1, and hit enter. So we are done with the configuration. First, as you can see, you permit the host, then in the line for SSH or telnet, and then you configure the named, and then you apply it here. As you can see, you apply it to the router for any connection to the router from either interface. So from PCC, I'll run the try to SSH link admin 1 and the interface of 192.168.2.1 and the password enable, and so we are able to connect from PCC and exit from here. Now let me try to connect. So we gave permission to connect to router 1 remotely using SSH only to PCC. Let's see if we can do it from PCE here. SSH link admin 1, and so from the PCE to choose this interface here of 192.168.50.1, connection refused by the remote host. So we are allowing only using the named access list only to PCC to have connection to router 1. I hope you learned something or two from this. I explained it hopefully in a very simple way that you can understand that the standard access list is just follow the rules for it, read something about it, and it's simple. If you like the video, please share it. And if you have any comments, write me and I will answer you back with any suggestions. Thank you so much for watching. And if you check the description on this video, you will find the documents to walk you through step by step, and also for the packet tracer source files. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.